Kathrada is deteriorating and we're going to the hospital shortly. The veteran anti-apartheid stalwart was hospitalised earlier this month. He underwent surgery for a blood clot. In a statement, the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation says the 87-year-old's condition has worsened over the last 24 hours. Kathrada has contracted pneumonia, which has affected both lungs. The foundation says it will keep the public informed about his condition. The public also can send messages to the foundation's Facebook page or by emailing info@kathradafoundation.org. Let's cross straight away to our reporter Griselda Lewis. She's at the Donald Gordon Hospital in Johannesburg, where Kathrada is being treated. Griselda, what can you tell us?
Well, good evening to you, Francis. Certainly what we can tell you at this point is that the struggle veteran is surrounded by family and very close friends at this time. Of course, the first indication this afternoon that the health of Ahmed Kathrada has deteriorated, according to a statement, of course, that was released by the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation. And we know that him being surrounded by family and friends, the statement also indicating this afternoon, calling on South Africans to continue to pray for him. You would recall when he was admitted, of course, to undergo that surgery for the blood clot was an indication, of course, that South Africans were to come together. We saw a number of services that were held in his honor as well, wishing him a speedy recovery. So this is the first indication at this time. Of course, we're talking about one of South Africa's most revered sons here. You'd recall, of course, in 1956, he was one amongst many who were arrested for treason. Those one of the people in the forefront of the defiance of oppressive laws in South Africa, lauded amongst many, not just in South Africa, but certainly around the world for the caliber of man this was. Getting straight into that, Francis, let's get a very quick update here from the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation as well as the family about what the condition is at this point. I'm joined by Nishan Bolton, who's from the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation. Nishan, thank you very much for your time this evening. Certainly very difficult. First of all, we've seen the statement this afternoon. We hear now that the struggle veteran's condition has deteriorated.
It continues to deteriorate despite the best possible medical care. Mr. Kathrada has pneumonia across the lungs, and remember, he is also is just emerged from intensive surgery on the brain, and all of these complications have basically indicated to the medical team that he is fighting a battle that looks like he might lose.
Had that been over the past 24 hours, we also understand that he's surrounded by family and very close friends at this time.
Today we've asked all of his family and many of his close friends to come and visit him, and in some ways perhaps to say their pay their last respects and wishes to him. We hope that this might turn around, but medically it seems like it won't be. His family and friends have been here throughout the day and will continue to be for as long as is necessary.
Perhaps calls as well on South Africans and I guess across the globe to lend a prayer for the struggle veteran. Of course, you're hoping that that situation will turn around. We are praying for a miracle, and we ask South Africans and people across the world, particularly those who support democracy and freedom across the world, to add their voices to those prayers. That kind of positive energy might just be what turns the situation around. But if not, the family and many others do not want to see a prolonged period of suffering, and we hope that Uncle Kathy either recovers or that he continues to be in a restful state for as long as is possible. We understand that there have also been some visitors here this afternoon. We understand that Mum Winnie Madikizela Mandela was here also. Can you confirm that for us? And others perhaps very close to him who've been here?
I can confirm that Mum Winnie was here. His other close friends, Lalu Chiba has been around, Max Sisulu has been around, Esu Pahad has been here, and there are many others that I might not even have seen who have been coming in throughout the course of the day. And this just indicates the kind of affection that South Africans across the board have for Uncle Kathy, and we really truly appreciate that.
Nishan, we'll just let you go for a few minutes. We understand you've got other interviews to do. Let's bring the family in. Nazir Kathrada, thank you very much for your time, especially during such a difficult period. Uncle Kathy, we're seeing, as Nishan has indicated, so many people coming through to come and pray, continue to pray for Uncle Kathy. I think that's what your call would be on South Africans and from many across the globe to do this evening.
Absolutely. We always live in hope, as Nishan has said. But we also got to take into account that he is in a critically ill situation. But I'd like to extend, I think, just thanks to just support that we've been receiving across the board from family, from friends, from just multi-faith organizations, etc. And we're actually very grateful to that.
What was Uncle Kathy like? It must have been extremely difficult when we all heard and saw the statement from the foundation indicating that he was gravely ill. I think at the time there was an indication that perhaps he would continue to do well. His condition was not as serious, but in the run-up to today, the deterioration of his condition, what was he like? When was the last time perhaps you were able to speak to him and have a conversation?
There were periods when he was under sedation, and there were moments when he was that one was able to speak to him, or even where he recognized us, and that he's currently under sedation. It has come as a shock because there was recovery, albeit slow, and until he developed the pneumonia, which happened on Sunday morning. So it has come as a huge shock to us as well, and we just ask everyone to pray for his well-being.
Certainly, I think, someone within your family, so revered around the world. Uncle Kathy, of course, fundamental, crucial in the liberation, democracy in South Africa. What would you say, I think, particularly at this time, about Uncle Kathy and the role that he's played? And in particular, when we talk about you as a family, you were the ones who didn't have Uncle Kathy around because his love was to perhaps see South Africa attain its democracy.
Yeah. Look, as a family, he's been a tremendous role model, I was too young before he went to prison, but during prison, when he came out of prison, and I think he continued to play that role model role. And that cut across age, gender, etc., where everyone just sort of held him in very high esteem. And he continues to play that role, even in the current condition that he is. His memory will never be forgotten. And yeah.
Nazir, I think I'm going to leave you to that at this time. Thank you very much, certainly for your time there. The Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, as well as the family there, just spoken to Nazir Kathrada, who's saying the family is really praying at this time to ensure that, they're waiting for some miracle, as we now know that the condition of the struggle veteran has deteriorated. The first indication there, Francis, at this time, you'd recall that the previous statements that we had were very subtle and, of course, indicating that perhaps a miracle would happen, his condition would continue to improve, but the family at this point saying that they're not hopeful at all. And I guess the call would be on all South Africans at this point, and South Africans around the world, and many around the world as well, who saw the struggle veteran as one of the many icons in South Africa, who played a critical role towards the attainment of democracy in South Africa. Prayers from around the world and in South Africa, of course, for some miracle that Uncle Kathy, of course, will come out from the state of deterioration that the family is experiencing now. They're also indicating that he's under heavy sedation at this point in the run-up, of course, to the statement that they released this afternoon, saying that at some point he would remember them, would be able to chat with them at some point. But the family is saying it would be a significant blow to them as a family, because they were the ones who saw Uncle Kathy through the very most important phases of his life. And I could certainly truly say, I think, at this point, if South Africans would be thinking of the worst at this point, it would be one of those moments where it would be one of the worst news that South Africa would possibly receive after the death of the former President Nelson Mandela. But the family continues to cling on to hope at this point and continues to call on South Africans and many around the world, of course, to pray. You heard there also as well, many of the close struggle veterans as well as friends have already visited the struggle icon here in hospital, including Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela as well as Max Sisulu as well, and they were expecting many others to be at his side at this time. A very difficult time, I must say, at this point.
All right, thank you very much. Kathrada Lewis reporting live from the Donald Gordon Hospital. We take a short break. We'll be